Previously, while pregnant Callia and Gallus ventured deep inside the fairy forest in search of missing kids, they encountered lichen wolves who had taken the kids as hostages. Enraged, Callia activated her sword and struck a lethal blow upon the wolves, rescuing the hostage kids. After placing the kids at a safe place, she killed the wolves one by one mercilessly. However, after killing the wolves, she wondered if she should dispose of them or should take them back for examination. Suddenly, a spear landed on the wolf's dead body, and the person responsible was none other than Kia's father, Callia. And as fairy Kia appeared from behind her father, she embraced Callia and began to show her affection. Sensing the dragon's abandoned egg in the hands of one of the missing kids, Callia commanded Callia to hand over that egg to him so that he could kill it before it hatched. Observing this, Callia recalled her dreadful past of being abandoned by her parents and determined to protect the abandoned egg. For this, Callia quickly moved to defend the egg and declared that she would take it with her. So, let's dive into the chapters 38 and 39 of the manhwa, The Baby Isn't Yours. Seeing the audacity of Callia, Callia commands her to step aside. He declares that without magic, the dragon's egg is going to die anyway. To this, Callia swiftly expresses that she'll provide the magic needed for the egg. Callia questions if she is talking about her King Louis or her foolish archmage Shyman, and if she is referring to them, then it's only going to cause a bigger mess. Suddenly, Kia comes to Callia's defense again, which shocks Callia right away. Perplexed, Callia wonders why his daughter desperately tries to protect her. Kia then activates a defense barrier, which causes her to weep heavily in pain. Observing this, Callia worriedly reflects that Kia is pushing her limits. She also wonders why Kia is trying so hard to protect her. Callia becomes gloomy at seeing his daughter in pain for an unknown reason. From here, the scene shifts to nighttime, where Callia assumes that Kia seems to be protecting Callia for a certain reason. Taking a drop of blood from Callia's wound, he transfers it to the magical space for examination. He also expresses that the colors of the missing kids' souls were also very strange. By creating a magical barrier around Callia and Gallus, Callia suggests them to take care of the dragon's egg wisely. He then commands his spirit to come out right away. Complying, a middle-class fairy of the nights, Liella, arrives at the scene. And as Callia orders Liella to guide Callia and Gallus outside of the fairy forest, Gallus gets scared quickly and wonders if she is a ghost. By flying up, Liella requests Callia and Gallus to follow her closely. However, Kia grabs Callia's hand and asks her to stop for a moment. She pleads with Callia, asking if she can come with her as she needs someone to protect her. From here, the scene transitions to the capital, where Shyman is busy with his overtime completely alone. Tired, he expresses that his hands hurt a lot due to work. Suddenly, Shyman casts a spell at the papers, mentioning that those crazy nobles deal with fairy trafficking on a big scale. He then finds a note in which a noble states that he steals fairies without the king knowing it. Plus, he doesn't consider King Louis as a king and only fears Shyman and Callia interfering in his business. Hearing the notes, Shyman comes to learn that it's Marquis Ayanti's handwriting, and he has been acting weird and must be doing something suspicious. Because just a year ago, he was so sickly thin, but now he is up and running, and it's not possible for people to get cured so easily. Shyman then commands his spirits Ace and Tiara to appear in front of him. Complying, they both appear out of two-dimension gates. Ace and Tiara embrace Shyman and starts to rub their cheeks in affection, to which he pats their heads gently. He then commands them to carry the strange crystals all over in the Empire. And as they quickly embark on their mission, Shyman reflects that they've eaten so much so their powers must have grown and they can travel further now. By imagining Callia, he wonders where she really escaped. Moreover, the thought of her leaving him makes him sad, and he misses her so much that he wants to destroy everything. Leaving the room, Shyman reflects that until he can find and be with Callia again, he will endure all this pain she gave him. And if he is able to find the slightest hint of her hideout, then he will find her eventually. Wearing his gloves, he recalls his meeting with a witness, who informs Shyman that he saw a madam with light blonde hair, and she travels with a cute short-haired lady along with her side by side. Plus, there is a very tall and muscular young man, and that man treats the blonde lady so well. After recalling this, he casts a celestial gate and enters inside it. And as Shyman arrives at a village, he bitterly questions how any man other than himself can stay with Callia. And if he can't find her, he will turn the cities upside down in search of her, because he is obsessed with her and it doesn't matter what kind of relationship they have. Smirking, Shyman declares that he will use his magic and only care about Callia. Clenching his fist, he wonders if she also has feelings for him. But even if that's not the case, he won't let her slip away again. Dear viewers, apologies for the interruption. If you're genuinely enjoying the content on this channel, please consider hitting the subscribe icon with all notifications, since this little support of yours will help this creator continue delivering high-quality work to brighten your day. And take a moment at the end of the video to leave a comment, sharing your thoughts on the content. Your feedback means a lot. Now, let's not take up too much of your time and jump back into the story. From here, the scene shifts to an unknown place, where we witness some smuggled fairies desperately begging for their freedom. And the smuggler is none other than Prince Adio Akin of the neighbor empire, who suggests the fairies to please him with their singing. As if they do, he might let them live for longer. Scared, one of the fairies yells that they just want to be free and go home. Suddenly, Adio hears a loud noise outside on the streets, and as he comes to the window, it becomes clear that he is also in the town of Lua. Adio then commands his servant Nguyen to go for a walk in the town and enjoy the grievance of the missing kids. Leaving, Adio orders other servants to keep an eye on the captured fairies, as he does not want to hear any nonsense. Meanwhile, deep inside the fairy forest, Kia requests Callia to let her come with her, as they must protect the baby at all costs. Perplexed, Callia asks what that means and why she wants to protect her baby. Callia also inquires why Kia is so obsessed with Callia and her baby. To this, Kia answers that she herself doesn't know, but she somehow needs to be there when the child is born. Callia reminds Kia that she'll be in danger if she leaves the forest. He then suggests Callia to take this bracelet with her, as it's a bracelet with Amuncha's soul, the ancient spirit. And with this bracelet, Callia can summon any fairy she wants. He also mentions that it's supposed to be Kia's birthday gift, but he is giving it to Callia now. And as Callia accepts the bracelet, Callia says she can call them right away whenever she wants to meet Kia. Suddenly, Callia wonders if she should say thanks, as she didn't ask for it. Callia decides not to express her gratitude and begins to wear the bracelet. And as Callia wears it, Kia grabs her hand and starts to pray for the safety of the child. After this, Kia requests Callia to call her by her first name. Confused, Callia quickly refers to her as Kia. Hearing this, Kia delivers a mesmerizing smile and bids farewell for the time being. However, Callia senses that intruders have entered the dark fairy forest. He commands Kia to gather Callia and others inside her barrier and lead them to the exit. Complying, Callia creates a barrier and suggests them to come this way. Moving away, Callia glances at Callia and confusingly wonders if he just smiled at her or if she is mistaken. After some minutes, Callia along with Gallas and the kids arrives at the wall from where they enter. There, she instructs Gallas to wake them up. In the midst of this, Callia wonders why Fairy Kia showed so much affection towards her. Kneeling down, Callia gently shakes the kids and eventually wakes them up. Gaining consciousness, Makana's daughter is terrified with eyes wide. The girl springs up and pleads to be saved from the monsters, to which Callia calms her and states that she's safe. To this, the girl questions if she is not in the forest surrounded by the monsters. Caressing the girl's cheek, Callia assures her that she is safe and that her friend Johan is also safe and sound. Callia then suggests the girl to wake her friend up as their mothers are looking for them. Complying, the girl tries to wake up her friend. Rubbing his eyes, Johan asks if he is not in the toy kingdom. To this, the girl scolds him and tells him to let's go home. Meanwhile, Makana and others are out in the forest in search of the kids. And as Makana finally finds her daughter, she embraces her tightly, and Johan's mother does the same. Feeling her daughter's warm body close to her heart, Makana eventually weeps in relief. Observing the warm reunion of the missing kids with their mothers, Callia suggests to Gallas that they must go back to their residence. Smiling, Callia mentions that there is someone who is still waiting for them. From here, the scene shifts to Callia's residence in the town of Lua. Scared, Callia mentions that if they go inside, they'll be scolded by Alan for a few hours. And as they open the door and finally decides to step in, they find the pissed Alan, equipped with a sword and other kitchen utensils, standing at the entrance. Baffled, Callia and Gallas ask what is all this and apologizes for being so late. Hearing their excuses, Alan shouts at them, mentioning that he waited at the entrance of the forest for so long, and when they didn't appear, he thought that they had died. Suddenly, Alan embraces both of them and expresses how they can be so mean to him. Crying, he adds that he was so worried for them, especially for Callia's baby. Hearing his concerns, Callia and Gallas also embrace him tightly with smiles, to which Alan thanks them for their safe return. Later, when Alan hears them making fun of him, he embarrassingly requests them to stop right away. Not wanting to stop, Gallas teases him and asks if the pot wasn't too big. In clarification, Alan mentions that he had nothing except the pot to protect himself. Hugging him from behind, Gallas thanks him again for worrying for them. Alan then questions if Callia is really okay and if her stomach hurts. Touching the beast's blood-stained cloth, she responds that she's okay and the baby seems healthy. Moreover, she feels that her baby is more active these days. Listening to this, Alan kneels in front of Callia and declares that pregnancy is always a sacred and beautiful thing for a lady. As we wrap up today's segment, thank you for being with us until the very end. I'll be sharing fresh videos of this manga and exciting new series every weekend. Your support is invaluable, so please subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Your encouragement keeps the channel thriving, and I appreciate it immensely. Until next time, take care and goodbye.